Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and to the honorable judges of English debate competition. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Cynthia Ayu Ramadhani, and I'm from Gambiran Senior High School. As the opposition side with today's motion, I strongly disagree that this house would give social service and skill training for gambling offenders rather than imprisonment. Before we talk about it, I like to talk about government talks in this motion. The opposition side maybe think that give social service and skill training will fix them. Otherwise, it is a terrible idea because gambling offenders will not fighting with their action or behavior because the punishment is gone. Now, let's talk about the status quo that occurs. Gambling offenders is any person who illegally participate in a gambling game that not permitted by the law. Because it is run illegally, law cannot give protection for the player if something happened to them, like fraud or scam. And it is have no policy to regulate gambling illegal gambling. Therefore, it can lead to another crime. Illegal gambling is identical with scam and fraud. When players participate in a gambling game, they will trap them in a gambling cycle. Ladies and gentlemen, what is gambling cycle? Gambling cycle is a pattern of behavior or action associated with gambling addiction. Usually, player will experience four phases: winning, losing, desperation, and hopeless. In illegal gambling, they usually run their business by attract player with the winning phase. After the player is addicted, they will give losing to player and take all their money. And the most terrible phase is desperation, because it is usually give negative impact to many people in the around gambling player. In this phase, gambling offenders will commit crime to search for the money. They'll do scam, fraud, robbery, own money, domestic violence, and etc. If this status quo doesn't solve as soon as possible, it will lead to the chaos because gambling is like a pandemic. It is easy to spread and hard to remove. Ladies and gentlemen, social service and skill training cannot replace imprisonment in this case. Because in the law principle, punishment is the main point to avoid some case to happening in the future. Now, let's look at the gambling players. Did they even think they will stop? Social service just give them a little punishment. It will not frighten them. And skill training just give them the ability to sustain their life, not remove their behavior. They will think like, oh, let's go gambling. Oh no, I don't want to do the social service. Oh, come on bro, it's just a social service. What else government could do to us? Yeah, it's not frightening them. Maybe the government side think that give skill training will improve their quality of life. But they just obtain a skill to sustain their life. And let's just imagine, a gambler still have the addiction and they have ability to do that with their own money. Their quality of life will not improve because they will still stuck in the gambling cycle. They will spend all their money for gambling as long as their addiction still. Remembering that gambling can lead to major negative impact, we must take this case in a serious way, not just a social service that intended for minor act. And opposition side make a better offer from government team. We imprison them. We can give them a better rehabilitation and control. We can give rehabilitation with their addiction and their mental health, so when they get out to citizen, their behavior will disappear. And a comprehensive observation is needed to control their act, so they can't do gambling or commit crime. And it can only happen by imprison them. So that's all why I stand for this motion, and I really disagree with this motion today. That's all from me. Thank you.